Hello everybody, out and about on Sunday afternoon, just on the run, and went past the giving point for contactless giving for Hope for Good in Southbourne. So this is the one at Hope and More. I don't know if you can see that, there they are, just opposite where our old office used to be. And the point of telling you about this is that on Tuesday we're actually going to get a launch of it. Hurrah, after only 2 years of work. But these points, there's going to be 4 points, including one at HSBC in the centre of Bournemouth. So there's 4 points across Bournemouth, and then hopefully next month we're going to have a couple in Poole and one in Christchurch, And so this has been something that the Homelessness Partnership have been working at for ages. And so you tap your card, £3 goes to Hope for Good and Change for Good even. And we know that Emma and Claire Holly and some others have already used that money to help people make their journey off the street and away from addiction and homelessness. So look out for these, and if you spot them and can take a selfie of yourself giving some money this week, we'll give you some words so that you can make it known to people that these are out and about. That would be great. Thought we'd do a little partnership update while we're here. So the other thing that the Homelessness Partnership are working on, or at least just information about that you should know, is there's going to be something starting, I think it started last week, called Somewhere Safe to Stay, which is a council and St Mungo's initiative to provide some immediate help for people. So they take them in to sort of 4 or 5 beds in Oxford Road, and folk can then have some really focused support to try and help them to make a step away from the street immediately. So we're in touch with them, and we're actually having a chat. We had a chat with a couple of people last week about, whether in the autumn we could do a community meal there or something like that. So looking at ideas around that. So there's lots of stuff going on in the Homelessness Partnership. Don't forget the Access to Food Partnership. Starting tomorrow, they're going to be starting what they call their Listening Broadly work. So that's about trying to get a whole series of questions out to as many food settings as they can to talk to people about what was the point where someone enters into a crisis situation, and what are the prompts that make them ask for help. So there's a couple of those sort of questions that they're going to ask as many people as possible. I know our food bank gangs are involved in that, but it's one of the things that we're trying to understand better, what it is that helps people to ask for help in an emergency, particularly around the food side. So that's one of the things the Access to Food Partnership is involved with. We have a really good place in that, actually, folks. So we're able to do influence quite a lot, which is always good, but also to be respected for the work that we're doing. And which links us on to, I know that Tracy and Sarah over in Christchurch, they're going to set up that community meal, and they were able to give us that as an example to others within the Access to Food Partnership of how we could do things differently now post-COVID in terms of community meals. I'm really keen to have a meeting with churches about cafes, because several churches wanted to open cafes, and I think again that's an opportunity to think about doing things a bit differently. So if you've got a church near you or involved with that has got either a really great example of a cafe that has been working, I was thinking of the one down at Ferndown, St Mary's, or maybe you're thinking about it, then I think we're going to try and see if we can get some folk together to have a discussion about that. So great stuff, partnership stuff happening. Don't forget a couple of other things this week. We've got just don't forget to keep putting out the post around practical skills training lead. We need that for the end date. We extend until the end this coming Friday. So again, if you know anybody who'd be great for that job, please keep on pushing that. Don't forget to keep taking those lateral flow tests a couple of times a week. It's great that we can keep each other in, and with the pingdemic, as they're calling it, we want to make sure all keep all our services open. I was down at the beach hut yesterday for Julia's late birthday. It was great to have that. So again, if you haven't made use of that, if you haven't booked in a slot for a little time of maybe a time of retreat, a time of stillness, or a bit of a good, just having a nice time, do book that with Emma. There's a beach hut at Faithworks. You can send an email to that. And of course, we want to remember our folk in Smile, Lucy and Rachel, as they're going to start their summer program this week. They've got Smile at Poole Park on Wednesday for several hours, going to bring everybody together. So we're going to pray for great weather and that the families have a superb time. Thanks everybody. It's another week and another time when we can ask God. There's a verse in Hebrews which talks about going to the throne of grace, and in the translation I was looking at, the throne of grace for well-timed help. So I pray that you be able to get all you need this week, that well-timed help, and keep looking out for these things. See you soon.